business, we're taught to always be moving forward. And then this July arrives. This month isn't about doing more, it's about getting unavoidable clarity on what's actually working. By the end of July, three major outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn, will be retrograde simultaneously. So the sky isn't punishing your ambition, it's creating the conditions for an honest evaluation. And today I'm going to break down the 8 transits that will make a difference for you if you take the time to do the reflection that they're asking for. So on July 7th, Neptune stations retrograde at 4 degrees of Aries. It will stay there until December 12th, so it's around 5 months. And it's the first retrograde since it entered in Aries. So Neptune, it's all about dreams, visions, a spiritual direction, what we believe is possible. And Aries, it's about action, identity, how the self acts in the world. So when Neptune retrogrades, the fog that it creates and the confusion lifts slightly. So you start to see which visions are genuinely yours and which ones are just borrowed from someone else's story. You will also notice where you've been inspired against the moments that you have been actually kind of disappearing because you were following someone else. So the main question that Neptune is asking you during this period is if this dream it's actually yours, or are you just following someone else's dreams? This is a great moment to reflect on your offers, your niche, your positioning, and see if it's actually aligned with your vision. To reflect on where those doubts are coming from. It's because you are feeling insecure about your vision, or it's something that it's being borrowed because you haven't established enough boundaries between yourself, your ideas, what you want to create, and all the messages you're receiving from the world. However, during this moment, it's important not to make major business moves just based on intuition. It's great to get all the intuitive ideas, but it's better to get some clarity before acting on them. Then on July 9th, Venus enters Virgo, and it's actually also in conjunction with the South Node. And Virgo, it's all about precision, care, the details that make or break something. I actually have a Venus in Virgo in my natal chart, and I like this energy of valuing the service, about finding out your true worth and checking that your offers and your services are actually aligned to the prices. So that you're not undervaluing yourself because you feel that you need to provide more. It's about finding that match. And also, it could be a great time to do some rebranding or reflecting in the way you are showing up in the world. Venus gives you all this energy of attraction, beauty, harmony that under the lenses of Virgo can be very productive. However, you need to be careful not to step into perfectionism and these feelings are not being good enough, because that can also happen with Venus in Virgo. It's great for refining offers, refining client experience, your backend processes. Great timing to review your pricing structures. And with the South Node so close, it's also a great time to see if the values from the past regarding your worth, what you consider beautiful, are still aligned with your current vision. Then on July 14th, we have the new moon in Cancer. So Mercury is still retrograde when this happens, and it's actually impacting how we feel this energy. Cancer, it's all about home, roots, emotional security, the private inner world. And new moons are beginnings, the moment to plant seeds and set intentions. However, because it's happening in Cancer and Mercury it's retrograding, it's much more an internal moment of manifestation, especially when it comes to how you want to feel about your business, how your business is making you feel too. It's a great moment to plan intentions around how you want your work to feel. For example, when it comes to your client experience, maybe you want it to feel more personal, or maybe you want to have a more relaxed rhythm in your work. It's all about finding these moments also of rest or nurturing yourself and working towards a 6 months vision where you can see yourself already achieving the pace, the personal connections, the emotional stability that you want from your business. Then on July 20th, we have Jupiter in Leo and it's opposing Pluto in Aquarius. And this is very important because also on the next day, Jupiter sextile Uranus in Gemini. So there's a lot of energies going on here. And Jupiter, it's a planet of expansion, growth, confidence, what becomes possible. And Pluto is a planet of power, transformation, what needs to actually die so something new can live. And Leo and Aquarius are these opposing energies of individual expression and the collective, the individual who wants to be seen, meeting the system that controls how that happens, especially now that we're seeing all this technology speeding up with AI and systems, algorithms. It brings light to the tension between the personal ambition and the structures and systems and power dynamics that are around it. So you can think about where are you trying to grow and feeling blocked by something bigger than you. And where are you looking to exert external systems like platforms or how the algorithm works in order to expand? This might not be a very comfortable placement, but it will be very clarifying. And because Jupiter is going to try Neptune the same day, it's going to also support your vision and what you need to do to expand the vision and make it real. And with the sextile in Uranus the next day, it's a great moment for unexpected opportunities and to realize that maybe a door opens that you didn't even know it was there. The hard question with this opposition is if you're building your visibility on your own terms or on someone else's terms. Think about platforms, institutions, structures. And it's not about burning it all down or going against it. It's more about finding the balance and the way that you can navigate it strategically. Then on July 21st, the sun enters Leo, and it's all about enhancing the creative expression, confidence, visibility, joy, leadership. The sun, it's in its home sign here, so it's very strong, expressive, and it's asking you, what do you actually want to create? It's a great moment for creative joy of making something that actually feels like you. Content creation gets easier, and if the Cancer season made you go more like inside to your inner world, now in Leo invites you back to the stage to show up more consistently, to take the lead, to invest in the creative side of your business. It's also about willingness to be seen, but in a very authentic way, showing up as yourself and not what you think that others want to see. And then on July 23rd, Mercury stations direct in Cancer. So all of these reflections, emotional patterns that you've been visiting during the retrograde, now it's a time to get ready for action, to start conversations, to send proposal, to restart collaborations, to launch whatever you've been working on. Because Mercury is direct in Cancer, it's literally talking about communication from an emotional, honest place. And the kind of communication that it's not from the logical side, but that actually connects to the feelings and emotions of the people that we are reaching. Then on July 26th, Saturn goes retrograde in Aries, and at the same time, the North Node enters Aquarius. So Saturn is about discipline, structure, and the foundations of what you're building. And in Aries, it has been pushing towards action, taking initiative. So when it retrogrades, it makes you reflect if you're actually stepping up for the right reasons, if you are moving forward based on urgency or a real solid foundation. It's also asking you to check how's your discipline working, how is it feeling, and because it's in areas, sometimes we might have been moving faster. And when it goes retrograde, it's a great moment to reflect on the pace that we're having. Is it actually sustainable on the long term? It's a great moment to review your structures, your workload, and the way you're making decisions to reflect if you're leading from clarity or just from anxiety. And with the North Node in Aquarius, it means that the whole collective is moving towards innovation, community, systems that work for the whole society, for everyone. It's much more inclusive. And it's asking us to also let go of waiting to be recognized, to move on, to release the ideas that we need to perform instead of being our authentic self, to create change in the world. And the businesses that will thrive in the next 18 months will actually have a genuine community orientation. They will offer something that solves a real problem for a specific group of people, and they will find ways to collaborate rather than compete. So it's a great moment to start building around what the community you serve actually needs. And finally, we have the full moon in Aquarius on July 29. And it's happening together with a Jupiter Cassimi, that it means that Jupiter is conjunct the sun. And full moons bring completion, revelation, accumulation. Because it's in Aquarius, is asking you how are your communities working, the way you are approaching your audience, if it's still aligned with your bigger vision, or there are areas that you need to release in order to actually be able to provide more for your community in the future. With Jupiter so close to the full moon, this release is supported, and if you go and move towards a more authentic version of supporting the collective, you will actually get the expansion that Jupiter brings when you are creating for an authentic place. So, in conclusion, we have the Neptune retrograde on July 7th, asking if your vision is actually yours. Then Venus in Virgo on July 9th asks what's worth refining. Then we have the new moon in Cancer in July 14th, asking you if your business is making you feel the way you want to. Then with Jupiter opposing Pluto in July 20th, you can reflect on where you letting your external power block your growth. Then Sun enters Leo in July 21st. It's a great time to get all your creative energy working. And then Mercury goes direct on July 23rd, so you don't need to wait any longer. You can just start communicating all of the things that you've been reflecting through this month. Then with Saturn going retrograde on July 26th, the same day as the North Node, it's shifting towards Aquarius. It's a great moment to reflect in your structures and the needs that your community actually have. And lastly, the full moon in Aquarius in July 29 is asking you just to trust the expansion and to let go of the old ideas that you could carry about how your community was supposed to be. So July isn't a moment to force forward movement, but it's not also a moment to hide. It's a great month to get honest about your vision, your structures, and who you actually serve. The sky is creating the conditions for clarity, and it's up to you to use them in the best possible way. So, if you find this useful, I'm gonna ask you something very weird for a YouTube video, but don't subscribe to this channel please go to the description and find the link to my new channel that it's going to be all about business astrology and the way the cosmic energies can actually support your growth. So please subscribe to that channel because I'm going to be talking about the August transits on that one, and you don't want to miss that. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.